Nigga, I got money. Nigga, you ain't $50 you can have this motherfucker.
I know you regret it, love. You told me so many. I know you regret, but I still. I know you regret, but I still. I know you regret it, love. You told me so many times, but I still wonder.
Nowadays, your mobile phone is your TV. Provided you have a decent data plan, Netflix and YouTube are just one tap away no matter where you are. However, there was a time where mobile content consumption was beyond imagination, that time being the early 1980s.
Not again!
Going somewhere? Then don't forget to take along the Sony Slimline WatchMan.
You're about to see the Me TV, the Sony WatchMan, the first truly personal TV.
In the next 60 seconds, we'll tell you if you won the Sony WatchMan TV. You can win it right here, right now. Got to watch and play games?
In 1982, Sony came along with the WatchMan FD210, which as the name suggests, is basically a TV version of the Walkman cassette player sold only in Japan. The WatchMan was a really intriguing device. To create a portable TV with 1982 technology, Sony had to cram a 6cm CRT TV into a portable form factor. For comparison, my 38mm Apple Watch is just 0.4 inches smaller than the display used in the first WatchMan. That's really small. After some success in Japan, in 1984, Sony brought the WatchMan to the United States and to Europe. This spawned a surge of clones under the guise of personal TV. Basically, if your TV was battery powered and so small that you might develop cataracts trying to see what's going on, then your marketing term was personal. This trend of pocketable TVs died out in the mid-90s, however some Japanese and Korean phones kept this feature until the early 2000s. If you're familiar with how CRTs work, then you are aware that CRT TVs take up a lot of space. The reason for this is that you essentially have an electron cannon in the back of a tube firing radiation at a phosphorus-coated display. What Sony did instead was to use more vertical space instead of horizontal space by positioning the electron cannon below the display. That's the reason the display is tilted in the first place. So considering the WatchMan is such a thin and pocketable device, all's good, right? Well, no. People grew tired of trying to watch TV on a 6cm display and began to favor larger screens. Ones that were still portable and battery powered, but not pocket size. Sony saw this trend and produced the Mega WatchMan, a portable TV that also featured an AM/FM radio in some models. My Sony WatchMan comes complete with a giant antenna that I've already sort of bent. So let's get right into watching some free TV on this Sony WatchMan. There's just one problem. The VHF and UHF function on this TV has become completely useless. The reason being that all analog TV was shut off years ago.
The digital TV transition is almost here.
It's here.
Miss Lupe, you look fabulous. It's because I have a digital converter. A what? After February 2009, that little antenna that you have is not going to be enough to watch TV because the signal is going to be digital.
Notice how digital's made pretty much everything better, especially television. Digital TV's got better picture, better sound, more channels. In fact, it's so much better that by law, all broadcast TV has to be digital by 2009.
Why? That's often the first question that we're asked when we educate consumers about the digital television transition that concludes on February 17, 2009.
If you're around my age and from America, you probably remember the DTV transition PSAs that aired in the late 2000s. They were to remind the public that analog TV transmissions were being shut off and that if you want to continue using your old equipment, you had to buy a converter box. I remember this especially because of the wind-up emergency TV I have for getting news during hurricanes, which essentially lost all of its use with its analog receiver. And unsurprisingly, the WatchMan and other TVs like it required an analog connection, and thus became useless in 2009. Or so you think. The Sony WatchMan supported external inputs via 3.5mm antenna jack. This means with an HDMI to RCA adapter and an RF modulator, you can convert HDMI to 3.5mm RF connection. So with $30 of adapters, I was able to get my WatchMan working with my computer, and it was a bad use of $30. The 4.5-inch monochrome display didn't offer the best experience, but then again, this is a 20-watt 75Hz CRT. To give you an idea of how this monitor looks, I recorded the Sony WatchMan in action, and this is what it looks like. So yeah, it's not practical, but I wasn't trying to make it practical, it just looks cool. Anyway, that'll be for this video. Comments down below what your experiences are with CRT TVs, like and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching, I'll see you in the next video, bye.